was that we realized how much technology can improve the quality of the service that we have for the people that they are in the lockdown or they're in quarantine, and they can use those services. So pretty much most of those services that you can imagine offer to you while you are working at home or while you are in the lockdown are hosted in the cloud computing. So in a very simple word, we can say that the clouds are the centralized service provided by various IT company, which help you to use those services anywhere, anytime you want, right? And you only pay for the services like, you know, the Netflix, iCloud, or other services that, of course, you might use. So a very clean service, very easy to use, and very affordable for an end user as well as for the you know, other companies that they would like to use those services. So pretty much these days, most of professional services which we offer through the web are hosted in the cloud computing. So what this means for you guys as the, you know, the students or the applicant. I can show you one a very important information that would be quite interesting for you guys to think and to see. This is the list of soft skill and technical skill, which was highly on demand in 2020. And as you can see, there are top 5 soft skill and top 10 technical skill. And if you look at this list, the second one in the list is the cloud computing. Means that in a 10 top technical skill around the world, cloud computing is the second. And interestingly, if you see for the last 5 years, cloud computing is in the top 1 or 2 in the last 5 years. And you know, artificial intelligence and other technical skill are there as well. But as you guys can see, the cloud computing is in the top 1. So there are high demands on these skills from the, you know, companies and from the, you know, the developer and application. So our job is to train you with some of those skills so you can get those opportunities while you are graduating. So there are 2 phases to that. One phase is a training while you're doing the degree, for example, at Western Sydney University or in different computing degree. And the second is that after your graduation, what opportunity would be happening for you. And this is where we have a very good industry support from the Amazon Web Services, as I said, which is supported by Amazon Web Services Academy, which we host at Western Sydney University. So at this stage, I would like to ask Zoran Taleski, who is from AWS, to give us a short introduction of the AWS Academy and a little bit of position of the AWS in industry, and then I will continue talking about the engagement with our university. Zoran?
Thank you, Professor Javadi. I think you've summed it up quite well. Cloud computing, as we see, there's been an exponential growth in, I guess, talent required within the field. So it's good to see Western Sydney, I guess, working closely with us to teach some of these courses that are related to cloud computing. And I think one of those customers that you mentioned earlier, like Netflix, when you think about the way that Netflix has been able to develop an application to stream across the globe to millions of users, that's something that they've done using AWS. So when you look at some of the content that we have that's available to students through AWS Academy and through Western Sydney University, these are targeted towards, I guess, the skills that are in demand at the moment. And whether that's, a student potentially looking at, as they graduate and working for an organization like AWS or Amazon, or a student that's looking at working for one of our customers, like Netflix, or maybe if they're looking at working in the financial space, or across agriculture, or across a number of industries, and most industries would have some element of cloud computing. It is a great space to start. So our academy program, combined with Western Sydney University, allows students to dive deeper into cloud computing, but also some of the technical aspects around what cloud computing is, which would potentially lead you to a role within cloud computing, which is quite in demand at the moment. So when we look at some of those courses, we look at the solutions architect course. It really is about building applications and building that environment in the cloud. So if you're thinking about, if as a potential student, you've got an idea that you might want to establish one day and bring into the market, it's a great place to start. If you're someone that's thinking about, I guess, a career around technology, and even if it's not a directly aligned to technology, cloud computing is probably still a good space for you to start. And we've got a number of services at AWS, and through these offerings, we're not expected that you're going to understand every single one of those services. There's actually over 200 products and services that we offer, but it is a great foundation and a great sort of exploration into some of those services to help you become the next unicorn starter. So I might just leave it for there. I won't go into too technical in terms of what this means, but really excited to work with the students going forward, and hopefully we'll see you within AWS or one of our customers. Back to you.
Thanks, Zoran. Yeah, so we do have a large number of the services from the academy, and as Zoran mentioned, it provides a lot of training for students that they wish to do in different area. One of the things that I would like to point out that there are lots of companies that they are currently working on cloud computing services, and there is a big competition. And one of the reasons that we joined with AWS, and that was a few years back, was because they have a massive market, and they have a massive application and massive reputation in the industry. And as you guys can see, about a third of the market is in with the AWS, and definitely when you guys finish your degree and you're going to join some of those companies, so there is highly likely that your workplace also using those services. Again, there are very similarity based on the some of those providers, and we teach you general concept of the cloud computing and how the cloud computing works and different aspects of the cloud computing. But for a specific service and application, we train you for AWS services, but it doesn't mean that you don't learn anything else. So you will learn other services, and I think this is a good example for you to know how big and how massive is the market. And as you can see, it's a $150 billion market per year. It's one of the biggest market in a computer science. So at Western Sydney University, we've been working with AWS for many, many years, but specifically for AWS Academy, we were one of the first university to join that when they opened AWS Academy in Australia and New Zealand. Of course, they had the program for a number of years in different countries, but since they brought it to Australia, we start developing that program in our computing course. And then now we have a number of those training, as you can see in our program. So there were a few questions about which bachelor degree we have this degree. So all the computing bachelor degree, including information system, computer science, and ICT, which is information communication technology, are part of the AWS Academy. So when you are in those courses, you will be able to take the units and a subject, and then you can, of course, enjoy and get a benefit from that. We do have this for both undergraduate and a postgraduate courses. So both undergraduate, postgraduate, they could get join those degree. At the moment, when you join those programs, so you can finish with 3 different certification, as you can see. So the practitioner certification, solution architect certification, and cloud and developer certification, which are 3 recognized one. And the good things about these degrees are internationally recognized, right? So as AWS is an international company, so those certificates also are internationally recognized, and wherever you go, those certification can help you with, of course, job with different job opportunity. Yeah, there are, I think, question about finishing going to the second year of undergraduate. Again, these cloud computing are started from second and a third year, and definitely you guys be able to benefit that from second and a third year. So please let me know if there is any specific question before I go to the second part of the presentation, which is I want to show you some of the work that the student did specifically with that. Don't know if there is any a specific question, if you would like to ask or you want to put it on the chat. So please let me know. Is there any question? I don't know, Sarah, is there anything that I need to answer, or I answered that question? Yeah.
Okay, so there was just a question about the college, and I've sent a message to Simon directly.
Sure. Excellent. Okay. So, as I mentioned, these program offer for most of undergraduate, postgraduate, and whenever you join in any of those programs, you definitely could get benefit from that. And again, it's not all about the certification. We do provide a lot of professional development in collaboration with Amazon Web Services, which is through the whole year, and some of them sometime during the summertime. So there are a lot of exciting programs extra that we provide to the student, and I'm sure you guys will enjoy them if you join those programs as well. So there is a question about that if you are in the final year of the postgraduate. Well, you could potentially do that, yes. So there are, as I mentioned, there are different programs available in Western State University to join the AWS Academy. Some of them are part of the undergraduate and postgraduate unit, a specific unit. Some of them are non-credit based units. So you can get them, and please let me know, email me, and I will provide you with more information on how to join that. Yeah. So the duration of those programs are so each of those programs are 1 semester, right? So for example, the cloud practitioner is 1 semester, solution architecture 1 semester, developer 1 semester. So practitioner is a basic one. So first you need to do the practitioner, and then after finishing the practitioner, then you can do the solution architect or the developer one. So that's how it works. So practitioner is the basic course, basic unit you need to do, and all of them takes 1 semester, which is 14 weeks to finish, and includes material, practical activities, and of course some online activity we do, plus some of the work that you do with Amazon application during the interactive labs. So that's how it works. Okay, so please, if there is any other question, put it on chat, and I would answer them as we go. Now, I would like to show you, I can show you so many examples, but we're going to show you one specific example of how you're going to put in the practice your cloud computing. And I, of course, have some of my students that they did amazing job during the few months, and I developed some sample for you. So I want to introduce you with AWS DeepRacer challenge, and then I will ask definitely Zoran to give a little bit of his side of that. One of the things that we would like to show to the students is that what they can do with their skills, of course, during their training time in the program, and then afterwards. So I'm sure many of you heard about the autonomous car, right? The cars that they don't have a driver, so they can learn how to drive. So that's one sample car that Amazon Web Services already developed. You can see it in this slide. And they provide a challenge to people who are learning the cloud computing, that how we can train and teach this car to go through those tracks, as you can see, with, of course, no driver, and they can finish this track as soon as possible with the shortest time. So very simple challenge, right? So you have an autonomous car, which equipped with the learning process, which we will talk about that in short. And then you're going to put in the track, and you're going to pass the track as quickly as possible. So that's a challenge that we give to the students to train. And definitely this can be escalated to the bigger application, that you can have this system working in a street, working in industry, working in the mining area, and many other things. So that, I think, would be a very good challenge for you guys to see that how we're going to develop that and how that's going to help you with developing some of your machine learning, artificial intelligence, and cloud computing skills. So before I move forward, I would love to ask Zoran if he would like to give some of his insight about the DeepRacer challenge and the perspective of Amazon for the DeepRacer.
Thank you. I actually have a DeepRacer. I should have got that, but that's okay. So I guess when we look at DeepRacer, AWS DeepRacer is, as you mentioned, a machine learning model that we use to develop, or our customers use to develop their machine learning skills. So when we look at the car itself, it's about 1/18 scale. So if you think about small remote control car, it's about that size. It has a computer on board and also has some sensors within the car. So it's got a camera. The new version has 2 cameras and a LiDAR sensor. And what the car is able to do is use machine learning to make decisions around how to navigate around the racetrack. So we've got the virtual league, which anyone can join. And if you're with us today, go check that out. If you just type in AWS DeepRacer league, there is a global league that you can participate in. But when we look at the physical car itself, we can actually think of it as a small Tesla. So the car's got some compute power. It uses machine learning to make decisions about where it needs to be on the track. It adjusts and makes that decision probably at about 30 times a second. And therefore the car's able to navigate around the track without having someone control the car. So it is a smart car. It's autonomous, and it's able to race around. It's the first autonomous racing car that's been brought out in terms of something that's a 1/18 scale. So we've had a lot of success with it. Encouraging students that are looking at this to go out, check it out. There's a lot of online learning material as well. So if you're keen to get started, you can do so today. But if you want to learn more, I suggest you join one of these courses as well. So if you do apply and you're successful to getting in to one of these courses, it's a great way to expand your skill set. Back to you, Simon.
Thanks, Zoran. Yeah, that was great. There was a couple of questions related to about the DeepRacer itself. So this is part of our activity that we do during our courses. So when you join any of those courses, so like other students that they join, we provide those opportunity for students, and definitely would be included in your program. So as some of the students join today, and they will talk about that. In terms of the cost, so all the material and the course that you do in AWS Academy are part of your course. So it's not the extra fee. So when you take your unit and you are part of any of those activities, there would be no extra fee. There is only extra fee for you to take the certification exam, because that exam is running by the third party, not by university and not by AWS. And for that also, we provide you the voucher with the 50% discount. So if you want to take the exam to get those certification, we give you the 50% voucher as part of our program, so you can pass. But I think the cost of each of those certification is between something like 100 to 200 Aussie dollar, and then you get 50% off. So that's the only cost associated to get the certification. But the rest of the material and unit that we provide, there is no cost with that. So that's the normal cost that you pay for your course, of course. I hope I answered your question. So back to the DeepRacer challenge, as Zoran mentioned, this is something that we would like to realize for a student to learn cloud computing, and of course, doing something challenging and interesting. So as I said, you're gonna train this car to go through this track with the shortest amount of time. So that's one of the challenges. So the key point here is that how those learning happen. I think many of you joined the previous session for the computing. A lot of you asking about artificial intelligence and data science, as you know. artificial intelligence these days is one of the biggest technology that is going to help us with through the many area of the application. And one of the application is that how you can do more work automatic, and that's how it's going to be happen. So behind the scene of these cars, there is of course a big computational power as well as a learning system. So the learning system of this is very simple, which we call it a reinforcement learning. And that's exactly you guys practice every single day. And maybe you've tried before with, for example, your pet, and that's how it's happened, right? So you have the pet and it does something randomly, and based on the action, you give them a reward. If they do something good, you give them a reward. If they do something wrong or bad, you don't give them a reward, or you give them the penalty. And that's how the reinforcement learning, right? And that's how the kids learn how to walk and how to act around the house. And that's exactly the reinforcement learning means. So it's an agent which doesn't have any knowledge, it doesn't know what to do. And based on the action, you give them a reward. And of course, you observe the state of that, that agent. And this is what reinforcement learning means. So in the DeepRacer training, also we do have the similar system, which is fortunately implemented and developed very well in Amazon Web Services portal. So you guys don't need really to develop any of them. So the DeepRacer car is available. The environment is set up for you. The only thing is you need to do, you provide your policy and your function. So there would be a small coding in the rewarding that you need to do. So how it works is that you have the agent and you have the environment already set up for you. You don't need to do anything. The only thing that you need is to check the action, that what does the car is doing, and then how you're gonna give them a reward. For example, if they're moving straight, you should give them a reward. If they go left and right, or they can't really stay in the track, you need to basically penalize them. So the only thing that needs to be done here is the rewarding function, which is, of course, could be very simple to be very complex. And then now we're gonna see how it's happening. So at the beginning, your agent or your autonomous car is just doing everything randomly. And then by the reward, you're gonna control them, how this system's gonna work. That's pretty much a way of training that one. So I'll show you a short sample of how the training happening, and then we go through some of the sample that then I would invite my students to talk about each of them. So just to show you how this basically training happening. So I have the one videos that how this training happening. So the car starts with no information, no learning. Then as it moves through the track, we give them a reward for doing something right, which is staying on track. And if it's go off track, we penalize it and we start training from the beginning. So you can see how this car is basically moving. See, it's moving around. So, and that's the reward function, tells that, okay, you stay, and now it's go off. So it's gonna get back around from that. So as it goes through the process, and it might take many hours to do the training, it learn more and more, exactly like your pet when you train them to do a specific act, sitting down and going around. And that's exactly this autonomous car is doing. And you can see the whole track, how it's moving. Of course, there are some turn left, turn right that needs to do. It doesn't know turn right, left, right? So as you give them a reward, it understand how this training might be happening. And as you can see, if he's going off track, he has to start the training from beginning. So the only thing, as I mentioned, you need to do is train the reward function. So how the reward function is going to work here. And then as you guys can see, the more it trains, the better it learns eventually, right? So now that you almost understand how this system basically works, I would like to show you some of the demos that the student they did, or some of the academy student they did. Well, we had a plan this year to bring the physical demo, something like that you guys can see here in the slide, which we have a real track and a physical car, and you guys come and watch it closely how the race really happened in the real life. But yeah, so unfortunately, because of the extended lockdown currently in Sydney, we can't do it. But we are really hoping that we can do it in future, and maybe in the next year we really like to bring it to the to the physical environment, and you see that. So before I go to the demo, I'll just check with Zoran if he has any other comments or any point before about some of those you know, comments that I make about the training and any other things that he wants to mention about that.
I think one of the things maybe to mention is, you know, if DeepRacer is a great way to get started with artificial intelligence and machine learning. So, you know, when we think about, you know, students that haven't had experience in this space, that are thinking about, you know, getting some, I guess, maybe even starting a career in that space, or thinking about an idea that they might have and expanding on that. DeepRacer is a great way to start. And then from there, you know, if you think about some of our customers and the work that they've done, you know, that we've seen autonomous drones, we've seen autonomous drones within, I guess, our organization, delivery vehicles that are autonomous as well, based around this technology. So think of DeepRacer as almost in your building block to expose you to a much wider audience around artificial intelligence and machine learning. So that's all from me. But yeah, some great applications, I guess, beyond DeepRacer as well.
Yes, definitely. Thanks, Ron. And yeah, as I mentioned, we are looking at many of the, you know, autonomous technology, and this is just example to realize how these systems can help you and work, right? So that's what it is. And as I mentioned, here the cloud computing basically does all the heavy lifting job for you. So you only provide the reward function, and then cloud does the processing and a learning process for you, which you don't need to involve with that. And that's a great part of the cloud computing. So it does the lots of heavy lifting for you, for your application. When you bring your idea and you realize that, the rest would be done by the cloud, and you just pay for, you know, whatever services that you get. And that's why it's getting very popular. And, you know, of course, a lot of companies and a lot of industry are heavily use that. Okay, so I don't see any question here in the chat, so I think we can go ahead and show some of the demo. And in this part, I would like to, you know, ask my student one by one to come and talk to that. I don't know if Mohammed, you should be here. I think you are the first one. Are you there, Mohammed?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Thank you. Okay. So what I would like to do, so I have 4 of my students that they did different strategy of the rewarding function. As I said, you can do it, you know, very, very different for the way that you're gonna train your agents, right? So I joined by 4 of my students, and each of them, they wanna tell you what they've done very briefly, and then I'll show the result of that training to the evaluation. And then we have again, as we said, we have only the virtual demo, the simulator one, but hopefully in future you would be able to see something physical, as you can see here. Okay, so back to you, Mohammed. So please, Mohammed is one of our academia students and would like to tell us about what he has done to train his agent. Yeah, Mohammed, please.
Yeah, so this is the actually simplest model among all of we are gonna show you today. So basically, as our professor mentioned earlier, that there are some reward functions and some parameters that needs to follow, that the car will follow some rules, like we're gonna say, do this, do that, we're gonna give you reward. So just like that, I have used like 4 reward parameters, that if the car follows these things, it will get reward, and for the reward, from the reward, it will learn how to work. So the 3 things almost similar, as it like stay on the track, follow the middle line, and the all wheels on track. So these 3 similar, but I have used in a way that so basically the first thing, the car has to be inside the track, obviously. So if it goes outside the track, it's not gonna work. So it's not a race. So first thing, it has to be in the track, and the second, second 2 things that follow the middle line. So if it goes from the middle line, how to make sure that it's in the track. So following the middle line is the best thing. Like it's not gonna go out, because it's gonna stay in the middle. And the last thing, that is the all wheels on track. And from this one, what happens, that reward function in a way that it's like, suppose it's learning. So there is it has a motivation to finish the track, finish the race in a minimum time. So what happens sometimes, like some of the reward parameters is like overlapping. Like if it follows like stay on the track, sometimes it happens that there is a curve, and if it goes from the curve, it cannot follow the one of the other parameter, like the speed one. It cannot go faster at the curve. So what happens, all these three parameters, what it does basically tells the the car learns that which side or where it can actually compromise one of the parameter and do other one, and gets the more reward, and see that it's actually maintaining all other parameters, plus it's getting the reward also, and this is the correct thing, and it's finishing by the time also. So the last thing I did here, the speed threshold. So basically the speed limit is 0.5 meter per second to 4 meter per second. For my function, I used 0.8. So what it does, basically, if the car goes less than 0.8, it doesn't get too much penalty. It still gets some reward, because otherwise it will get demotivated. So what it does, like if it goes below the threshold, which is 0.8, it gets a little bit less reward. And if it goes by 0.8 or more, it will get some more reward. So what it does, when there is a straight line, it always tries to go faster, because it will it's getting more reward from there. And when there is a curve there, and if it goes, it tries to go faster, it goes out of the line, and it gets total zero reward. Because of that, it goes slower at the curve, and I try to stay on the track. So this is how my reward function works, and this is the simplest one. The timing is a little bit it's like higher than other models, because this is basically trying to show how this is. I'm also a learner.
So I'll show you. I'll show the
yeah.
Muhammad the evaluation now. So this is what the result as what Muhammad did. So this is the when after the training. So this is the evaluation of his work. And yeah, so you can give us a bit of comments if you have, Muhammad.
Yeah, so basically that's what I'm saying, that the timing here, it can go more below that, but my function was very like simple, and I'm also learning, and this is my first step to machine learning and AI, as Professor mentioned. Like this is my first what to say, like real life experience, that how machine learning actually works, and I can see it in front of me.
Yeah, thanks, Muhammad. And yeah, so for you guys, as you know, so when we do the testing, it gives us the three evaluation times, as you can see, and then it's a time trial. And as you can see, it shows how many percentage of the laps you finish, and how many percentage, which is 100%, and then how many seconds is basically it takes. And as you can see, the best that Muhammad got, it was 16 seconds. So we're gonna go next. The world record for this track is about 10 seconds, right? So then now other students, they did some improvement, and now you can see how we improve that and to get to the close to that 10 seconds. So next, I would like to ask my next student, Fatima, to talk about her work and her function. Fatima.
Hello, hi everyone. My name is Fatima, and I'll be explaining my reward function. Basically, what I was doing is, unlike Muhammad's function, my function is more specific to the track I'm training on. So what I did is, first of all, I drew a line like on the track to show like the way I want the car to drive. So if you can see, actually the track has some curves, but I try to make it, to define a track that like goes as smooth as possible. And the second thing I did, that I divided the track into some sections, and each sections I specified the speed that I wanted to go in. So for instance, in the curve, like in the curve that's on the right, I made I gave the car more rewards if the speed was 1 instead of 2 or 3. Of course, my physical car, my trained car, the agent has 3 speeds, 1, 2, 3 meter per second. So I gave more rewards once, like in this point of the track, if the agent was speeding or wasn't slowing down. So if you run the slide again, you can see actually the way I wanted the car to behave.
Yeah, I can show you the.
You have to click on it.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I can show you how it's working. Yeah.
So this is the way, like when it goes into the corners or like curves, it just slow down, and once again it will like slow down on the curve, and here medium speed, and then again slow, and until the end of the race.
Sure. Okay. So do you want me to show the evaluation?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So this is what the Fatima did in her evaluation. Yeah. So you want to give us any comments, Fatima?
No, actually, it's not, the evaluation doesn't show the speed. So like the basic point of my reward is not showing here, but.
Yeah, so as you guys can see, well, the speed is down here. Some of you guys can see something millimeter per second. So
yeah, once it goes off the track,
of course, you can see that. And as you can see, the time is improving because Fatima is controlling the speed, and you can see that it gets around 13 seconds, which is improving from what previously we show. You guys can see that sometimes it's go a little bit off track, but it doesn't go completely off track. If it's completely all the wheels going off track, then you have to start from beginning. So here you can see with adding more speed control, you can also having the better speed. And these are all the indication of how you can control this this autonomous vehicle. Okay, let's go to the, thanks Fatima. Let's go to the next one, which is Rashid. So Rashid, do you want to talk about to us what you have done in your reward function?
Sure. Thanks, Baman. Hi, everyone. So I'm going to talk about my project now. So this slide might look so boring, but it's actually have some cool stuff to say. So this agent with my name, of course, like this is a special agent. So I've changed a little bit configuration of the default agent. Actually, the default agent have a speed of 0.5 meter per second to 1 meter per second. So the speed varies between these two the thresholds, but I change it to from minimum of 1 meter per second and maximum of 2 meter per second. You can actually increase it to the 4, but it's just that once the speed is too high, the chances of going out of track becomes more. So you need to manage your speed throughout the track as well. So the main thing you can see in here are the 2 tracks, and these are the 2 parameters. If you just see the track which is just beneath my agent, it shows like some kind of coordinates. So these are the coordinates for the center line. So my agent actually follow the center line. So it actually try to focus on the middle line of the track and try to remain in the middle of the track so that it cannot go off track as much. And the second thing, it quite focuses on the angle. Suppose if you know what is the track direction and if it's heading towards the same, so the output is maximum. So we just basically check that the degree of the track direction and the degree of actually the agent where it's heading, if it becomes too much more, that means it's going away from the center line and eventually it can go off track. So if it goes too much high, we penalize the agent, but if it's too small, we give him the maximum rewards. In that case, like it try to be on the center line and it avoids going off track. And the speed also is from 1 to 2, so it kind of manage all of the factors. And here the angles make a much more difference in the speed of the completing the whole track, as you can see in my evaluation.
Yes, thanks Rashi, and this is your evaluation, and obviously we can see that it's going quite fast, so I played that for you.
So it's try to remain in the center, but as soon as it just go on the edge of the track, it makes it come towards the center. So if you can see whenever the times it's going towards the corner of the track, it tries to comes to the center again.
Yeah, and again, as you guys can see, it's hitting the record of something 11 point something, which is again very good record. So as I said, the world record is around 10 seconds. So this is very close to that, and that's the great. And as Raishi mentioned, she was looking at keeping the center and rewarding for the corners. And as you can see, it takes the corner quite well. So thanks, Raishi. And the last one is Navneet, that also she did some little bit of the work on the reward function, and I would like to ask her to give us some of her point of view for the reward function that she did.
Sure, Professor Bahman. First of all, thanks to Professor Bahman for giving me this opportunity, and thanks to AWS team as well. Hi, this is Navneet. And okay, so now I have trained a model in AWS console, which is basically a service, you can say, to train a model, to evaluate a model, and you can also download it. So I have trained a model for many times and for many hours, evaluated in 3 labs. And the parameters here I have used, you can see all wheels on track, which could be true or false depending upon the agent or a car, how it will run on the track, like Boolean, true or false. So all wheels on track indicates mainly whether the agent is on track or off track. If all the wheels are on track, the agent will get motivated, of course, and it motivates to learn forward. The second parameter I have used here is steps, which indicates the number of steps completed by an agent. And the other thing is speed, like how fast an agent will cover the track. The observed speed of the agent is in meters per second, as mentioned by the other students as well. And the sensor used here is camera. The ML code, like machine learning code I have used to train this model, basically works on the criteria that when these 2 parameters, basically steps and all wheels on track, these are the 2 parameters I have taken, and when these 2 parameters get satisfied, the agent will be rewarded at maximum, like good, otherwise it will be penalized. So like I trained and evaluated many models, but when I changed the configuration of an agent, and I changed the speed of an agent, which was earlier it was 0.5 to 1, but then I changed to 1, which is minimum, and the maximum is 2.2 meters per second. Then I got a very good result, like around 11.8 seconds, as you can see in my video evaluation.
Yes, so thanks, Navneet. So that's your evaluation. Yeah, I can see that. It's quite fast. Yeah, so as Navneet mentioned, so here the speed you can see obviously is slightly faster than others, and that's help her to do you know, a little bit better in some of the turn, especially. Yeah, again, these all demonstrate how controlling those learning can help with a different result. And the number of reward function and the different logic that you can bring is really unlimited. So you saw only 4 examples, and my students, they show, but as also Zoran mentioned, this has the you know, the international league, and then you can also have lots of different way of training that and doing that. So I don't see any question on the chat, so please feel free to send any question if you have, and I would be, or my students would be happy to answer any of those questions. I also want to show you a little bit of the technical specification if you don't have any questions, so you see what is the real the DeepRacer look like. So as also we mentioned, is a 18 scale of the 4-wheel drive autonomous car with, of course, Intel processor, 4 GB of the RAM and 32 GB of the memory, with the Wi-Fi and 4 megapixel camera, right? So and then there is, of course, the battery that you have, and then some USB and other things. So you saw this as a the simulation. So this is where you do all your training. So when you're happy with your training in your real leak test or in your physical environment that I show in the slides, you download this on a USB stick and then you port it to your car, and then the car can get your model and start moving. So again, the idea behind the whole this challenge is not about a car itself. It's about how the cloud computing and artificial intelligence and machine learning can come together to solve the problem. So here the challenge is, of course, getting the car moving as fast as possible to the track, but this can be also training a robots to go and save someone's lives during the disaster or a bushfire, right? So it's not about only the car here. It's about how you're going to develop a skill and a knowledge to use those available technology to solve a real world problem. So, and that's the beauty of the technology and, you know, the IT and computer science technology. That's where we are now. I think there is a question from Kim that what point would the students start being engaged with this sort of things. So all those students that now they're working on DeepRacer, all of them, they did the practitioner course. So the first course that they've done, then they start engaging with that. So if you are undergraduate degree, after in your second year, you will be able to do that. So when you do the foundation units in the first year, in the second year of your course, you will be engaged with a little bit more advanced, including the foundation of the cloud computing, and then you can start engaging with different activity, including DeepRacer challenge or other you know, exciting program that we have. Okay. So I don't have any other things to say apart from what we mentioned. So I don't know if there is any question. I want to get some comments from the final comments also from Zoran. I would like him to give us a little bit of the more information about some of the opportunity that you guys have as a graduate finishing off. But I just want to see if there is any question. There is nothing I can see. But yeah, so it would be great, Zoran, if you can give us, I don't know if he's still in the call. Oh yeah, he is in there. So Zoran, can you give us a little bit of the information about the opportunities that these kind of skills and knowledge and certification bring to graduate when they're finishing their course? Oh, okay. Yeah, I think there is a little bit of the...
There we go. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes.
Professor?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think, I mean, great demo by the students. There's obviously some work that's been put into those demonstrations, and I think, you know, some great times there as well. So really good work by them, and great to see that. I think, you know, when we look at some of the job opportunities and, you know, some of the skills, you know, that you've developed through this, you know, even looking at DeepRacer, when I think about some of our fulfillment centers that are being used by, you know, that we have as Amazon as well, some of the robots that help us through Amazon.com find the right product to deliver to our customers within the fulfillment center is actually this very same technology. So when we think about the types of jobs that are available, you know, there's it could be, you know, I guess programming robots in fulfillment centers for Amazon.com. It could be, you know, working with some of our customers that have created sort of these autonomous drones that, you know, patrol some of the beaches across Australia and saving lives through that. It could be, you know, some of those drones also that might help with some of the natural disasters. And we think about, you know, a couple of years ago, the bushfires in New South Wales, you know, some of these devices, you know, were very applicable at that time as well. And when you think about, I guess, the types of jobs that are available, you know, through our customers and our partners at AWS, you know, we look at the companies like Netflix, we look at local companies like Commonwealth Bank using the products and services to develop, you know, some of their applications. We'll also look at companies like Twitter that, you know, develop some of their applications on AWS as well. So, you know, there's overall, there's you know, if you're looking at a technology career, cloud computing will most definitely be part of your journey at some point, whether you're in a technical role, a non-technical role, a sales role, a marketing role, Yeah, it might be even a legal role that might have an impact there as well. But we see this, I guess, cloud computing be quite a prominent factor across all industries. So it is a great start to get involved in some of those job opportunities available there as well.
Thanks very much, Zoran. And yeah, as Zoran mentioned, during the last few years that we're running this program, and we had that cloud skills during or some of our units before, we received a great response from industry. So many of them, they requested us for the graduate program and some of the skills that they require. We do have the large number of requests from industry for students who are ready to join their team in different area, right? So it's not only the cloud computing itself, in all the related area, as the Zoran mentioned, in robotics, in machine learning, in law, in manufacturing, in engineering. In many areas, they want to adopt the cloud computing because it's gonna not only improve their business productivity, also improve their cost benefit, and that's one of the factors that they want to do. I think there is a question about the is this available for the courses? Yes. So this Amazon Academy is available for all Bachelor of Computer Science, ICT, and IS course. So all of them, it doesn't matter which one you want to do. So AWS Academy is available for all the undergraduate computing degree in our school, as well as the postgraduate degree. So the postgraduate degree also, they can do that as well. I think there was another question. Yes. So the AWS Academy Cloud Foundation. So that's one of the courses that we do. And then we do have other also other courses, which is like a cloud associate, as I said, cloud architect and cloud developer. So that's a three courses that we do. And those are pretty much most commonly used skills in the market. There are other courses, as you saw in the AWS Academy, and you can see on the website, but these three are the well-known one as well. So we are close to the time. So I just want to thank everyone, and I would like to ask also my colleague, Associate Professor Anupama Ginegi, to also say a few words at the end. But from my side, I would love to ask, I would love to thank everyone joining, and also my students, and of course Zoran from AWS to join. So Anupama, to you.
Yeah, thank you, Bahman. Thank you, students, first of all, coming to present today, taking some time off your Sunday, and others who are joining today to listen to all of our sessions. And hopefully this would interest you to join some of our courses here. And also I would like to thank Bahman. He's tirelessly working with the students and Zoran and the team to get this session up and running today. And also special thanks to Zoran, obviously taking again time off on Sunday to come and talk to our students. And thank you very much for that. And finally, our engagement team. I can see some people who are left here. But thank you all for the support for organizing this session. I think that marks the end of this session. Over to you, Bahman, to close.
Yes, thanks, Anupama. And yeah, so thanks everyone who joined this, and I hope we provide you some excitement, staff, and your distance to coming to this exciting program is entering to one of our degree in definitely computing degree in Western Sydney University, and we could guarantee that you would have a lot of benefit from the program. And as I said, this is only the time for 1 hour to present what we do. There are so many other exciting programs that we provide with AWS and other industry, and definitely you could get the benefit. And this gonna brings you of course, open a large number of opportunity in the industry, professional development. And if you want to continue your degree in other area, definitely they're going to be helpful. So that would be a great opportunity to see you hopefully in next year and work with you. I know we would like to see you, many of you, in or hopefully face-to-face in a campus. So Zoran, do you have any last word to say?
I just want to say thank you for the opportunity as well. So looking forward to, I guess, maybe seeing some faces in the upcoming years at AWS.
Thank you very much. So that's exactly on time. I wish you have a great Sunday, and stay safe, and hopefully we can finish this lockdown very, very soon. So I'm sure all of you can't wait to back to the campus and back to the face-to-face work again. But on behalf of the Western Sydney University team, I would like to thank everyone who joined this session and wish you a great Sunday. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.